She didn't ask a single question, and that's when the hearing exploded. What began as a routine oversight session inside a formal congressional committee room quickly transformed into a political flashpoint that now echoes far beyond Capitol Hill. In a moment that stunned lawmakers, staffers, and viewers watching from home, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett declined to use her allotted time to question Attorney General Pam Bondi and instead launched into a forceful monologue that reframed the purpose of the hearing itself. Arguing that the witness had already demonstrated an unwillingness to provide direct answers, Crockett pivoted away from traditional oversight and toward what she described as basic moral clarity. Turning to a colleague rather than the Attorney General, she asked a rapid series of stark right or wrong questions, condemning acts like harming children, killing innocent citizens, and profiting while serving as president. Each response was unequivocal: wrong. The exchange was brief but symbolic, designed to establish a moral baseline before broadening into a sweeping critique of the Department of Justice under its current leadership. Crockett accused the DOJ of weaponizing justice, failing to prosecute serious wrongdoing, targeting journalists, and dismissing corruption cases, referencing rejected grand juries and controversial investigations that remain politically disputed. The rhetoric intensified when she invoked the Jeffrey Epstein files, noting that former President Donald Trump's name appears in various publicly reported documents connected to Epstein, while also acknowledging that being named in records does not constitute proof of criminal conduct, and that no court has convicted him of crimes related to Epstein. Still, she argued that unanswered questions and perceived associations warranted scrutiny, carefully stating she was not directly accusing the president of criminal acts, but insisting that transparency was essential. She went on to allege broader patterns of obstruction and constitutional concerns, claims that remained contested and unproven in court, before concluding with a sharp condemnation of the Attorney General's leadership and yielding her time. The response was immediate. Rather than engaging the Epstein discussion directly, Attorney General Bondi pivoted toward violent crime statistics and immigration-related convictions, highlighting cases involving homicide and kidnapping, and suggesting critics were ignoring urgent public safety issues in their own states. Republican lawmakers echoed that defense, characterizing the exchange as political spectacle rather than substantive oversight, while Democratic allies framed Crockett's remarks as a necessary confrontation over accountability. The hearing produced no new indictments, no formal findings, and no immediate policy shifts, yet it generated viral clips and sharply divided reactions across media platforms. Supporters praised Crockett for challenging what they view as institutional failures within the DOJ. Critics accused her of grandstanding and prioritizing optics over governance. The clash underscored how modern congressional hearings often serve dual roles: part investigation, part campaign stage, especially with the 2026 midterm elections already looming. For Democrats, the moment reinforced a narrative of demanding accountability and transparency. For Republicans, it reinforced messaging centered on law enforcement and border security. The broader political landscape remains shaped by perception as much as procedure, and in that sense, the hearing achieved something significant. It crystallized the partisan divide over justice, power, and narrative control. Whether viewed as accountability or political theater, the confrontation reveals a Congress increasingly defined by spectacle and strategic messaging, where legal nuance competes with viral soundbites, and where the battle over public trust in institutions like the Department of Justice is inseparable from the battle for electoral advantage.